Welcome back students. Today we will study about the types of pure substances. Look, on the basis of chemical composition, substances can be classified either as elements or compounds. Firstly, we will know more about elements. Look, Robert Boyle was the first scientist to use the term element in 1661. Then Anton Laurent Lavoisier in year 1743 to 94, a French chemist, was the first to establish experimentally useful definition of an element. He defined an element as a basic form of matter that cannot be broken down into simpler substances by chemical reaction. Elements are the basic constitutions of all matter. An element is the simplest form of matter which cannot be split into simpler substances by any chemical or physical method. In terms of atomic theory, an element is composed of atoms of same kind. Okay. Now students, elements can be normally divided into metals, non-metals and metalloids. So let us understand each of them. Metals are usually those who shows the properties which we are going to discuss. Metals are lustrous. It means they are very shiny. Second thing, they have silvery gray or golden yellow color. Okay. They conduct heat and electricity. Next thing, they are ductile. Being ductile means metals can be drawn into wire. They are malleable. It means that they can be hammered into thin sheets. Lastly, they are sonorous. It means when metal fall or some object strike to metal, then they produce ringing sound. Okay. Now, example of metals are gold, silver, copper, iron, sodium, potassium, and mercury is only metal which is liquid in room temperature. Now we will talk about non-metals. Non-metals are those which shows the property which I am going to discuss. Firstly, they display variety of colors. Okay, they are not lustrous except few like your graphite, iodine. They are poor conductor of heat and electricity. We have some exception. Look, graphite is the only non-metal which is good conductor of electricity. As I said, they are not lustrous, not sonorous or malleable. So non-metal lack these properties. Example of non-metals are hydrogen, oxygen, iodine, carbon in coal, coke, graphite, diamond, all forms, bromine, chlorine, etc. Now non-metals exist in all three physical states. You can see them in solid form, in gaseous form, and even in liquid form. In liquid form, the non-metal is bromine, and gases like your nitrogen gas, oxygen gas. Okay. Some elements have intermediate property between metals and non-metals. It means those elements shows common property of both your metals and non-metals. Such metals are called metalloid. An example of metalloids are boron, silicon and germanium. So in this way we have studied the elements and the division into metal, non-metal and metalloid. Now we will understand this topic using this flowchart. Look student, when we started this chapter, we started from matter. We can divide matter into pure substances and mixture. Pure substances are those things which are having only one substance in them, no impurities, while mixture may have more than one substance present. Okay. We studied that mixture are of two types, homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture having same uniform composition, okay, completely uniform composition, and there will be just one phase. While your heterogeneous mixture is such a mixture which is having non-uniform composition, or there may be more than one phase. The examples were suspension, colloids, and in homogeneous mixture, your solutions. Now, pure substances are further divided into elements and compounds. We have studied about elements. Now we will study what are compounds. Look students, two or more elements combine together chemically to form a new substance that is called compound. Compounds are commonly termed as chemical compounds just because they are formed due to a result of a chemical reaction. A compound is a pure substance made of two or more elements combined together chemically in a definite proportion by mass. Okay, now I'm giving you one example. Water is a chemical compound made up of hydrogen and oxygen, and they combine in a ratio of 2:1 by volume, or you can say 1:8 by mass. It means that 2 gram hydrogen combines with 16 gram oxygen in order to form a water molecule. Now let us understand some characteristics of your chemical compound. Firstly, a chemical compound is obtained by chemical combination of two or more elements, which I stated earlier. Compounds are homogeneous in nature, their properties are same throughout. The chemical and physical properties of a compound are entirely different from those of their constituent elements. Okay. Next thing, during the formation of compound from its elements, a certain amount of energy in the form of heat, light, electricity is either absorbed or evolved. Okay, when you burn coke in order to form carbon dioxide, then the heat releases. In the same manner, now we will differentiate between compounds and mixture. As we know that, look, these are your compounds which are pure substances, and mixture, they may contain two or more pure substances. Now let's find us what's the difference between the two. Here you can see that elements or compound just mix together to form a mixture and no new compound is formed. But element react to form a new compound. A mixture may have variable composition. You can add any proportion to form a mixture, but the composition of each new substance is always fixed when you are forming a compound. A mixture shows property of all the consistent substances. Look, if you are preparing lemonade, then that lemonade will give you taste of sugar, salt, properties of water, so all will be shown. In compound, the new substance has totally different properties. Water is formed by a combination of hydrogen and oxygen gas. Oxygen promotes burning and hydrogen is very good fuel, but water that extinguishes fire. Lastly, the constituent can be separated fairly easily by physical method in mixtures. We have studied various separation techniques using those which we can separate your mixtures, but the constituent of compound can be separated only by chemical or electrochemical reactions. So in this manner we have differentiated mixtures and compounds. That's all for today students. Keep learning, keep asking. Thanks.